Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel if you're not already subscribed. So I've decided to make a Frankenstein cake. As my first Halloween cake, I figured it would be something cool. So I just baked off a 6-inch round cake and just carved out an awkward shape like Frankenstein's face. I didn't feel like I needed a template for this, but if you need one, you can go ahead and online and get one that looks like Frankenstein. So I'm just cutting off to round the edges. Do not throw away the excess pieces because we're going to need them later. And I'm just filling it with some vanilla buttercream in the inside. Nothing too fancy. I popped it back on and just put marks where I want his eyes to go so that when I put the fondant on, it'll be easier for me to know where the eyes are because I kind of want them to sink in. I added my excess piece. As you can see, we needed an extra piece to make his forehead. So I did that there and just added that on and covered it with buttercream. I crumb coated the entire cake and popped it in the fridge for it to chill. Now you can put a second coat, but I really don't use a second coat all the time. I just do it if I need it, depending on what cake I'm making. I dyed some fondant green, like an olive green to match Frankenstein color, and just popped that on. I just mixed, I believe it was yellow and green, and made a weird color, maybe a little brown also. I'm using my ball and tool to indent the eyes and make sure that's really deep in there because I really want them to be sunken. Take off the excess fondant and just rub that down really smooth. If you wanted to make it like mine, I would not cut the fondant off. Take it all the way back because I felt though if I did it that way, it would have made my job much easier, but I didn't. Made my job harder. I got some black fondant because I'm going to create the hair on top. I made it that way because I didn't add green all the way to the back like I should have. I just grabbed a couple scissors and my knife and just made marks in there for his hair to make it look more jaggedy and make it like a triangle, more in depth, like a triangle on his hair. I kind of like tried to smooth it down on the sides to make it look like he had sideburns. I was trying to give him a shape up, but it worked out. Try and make his hair look like Frankenstein the best way that you can. Now I'm going to be adding luster dust in the eyes to make them kind of look dark and dim before I added my yellow fondant to it. So I'm just painting that on in the inside and I just used brown and some black, I believe. Brown and black for the inside of the eye and just came out just a tad bit so that you can see like a shadow. I grabbed a piece of my fondant and rolled it into a ball. Really nice size balls, even, and just popped them in there. Now, if you wanted to use white and just colored it a different color, you can very well use white. I just use yellow because I figured it'll make it look more spookier, being as though it's Halloween. You just go crazy. I just popped them in there. I flattened one side to squeeze it in there more better because I've noticed that if I kept it in a round ball, it wouldn't go all the way into the socket. So I did it that way so that it can fit more neater. Then I grabbed my paintbrush and just went around to smooth it in there to make it fit more evenly around and smoother. I'm creating a nose, so I just grabbed some more of the color green of his skin and just shaped it in a weird, awkward, big nose shape. I feel Frankenstein has a big nose, being as though he got different body parts. Doesn't really matter what size you make his nose, but he's a monster, so I decided to go big and gruesome. I'm just shaping that nose to make it look like it's lumpy and has like some deformality to it. And I'm using my ball and tool to make nostrils in the inside. You'll see it once I turn it around. I scarred the nose to make it look like it's, cuts here and there. And I also made a few more cuts later on, you'll see. And some more of my luster dust to color his nose and make it look more realistic and come to life like it's been a little aged on his nose. I'm rolling out, a sausage shaped piece of fondant to make the mouth and just smoothing down those sides there and making it look more attached to him. With my paintbrush, it's very delicate, so it'll be easier to smooth down that sausage shape. I used a couple pieces of yellow fondant to make his teeth. I just made them like log shapes to make it look more like his teeth is all different kind of sizes, tall, short, medium, all kinds of sizes. And I put little indents in it so it can look like his teeth is chipped and they're just rotten and bad. I'm using a little bit of black food coloring just for his pupils, just to paint it on there that color. Take your time and paint it because I did mess up mine just a little bit, but be sure to take your time and make yours much neater than mine. I rolled out a little piece of white fondant to stick on there as well. I added a little bit of black food coloring to his mouth just to make it look more realistic and live-ish a little bit. I'm also scarring his face to make it look like he's been cut and stitched because Frankenstein has those stitches in there. So I added a little piece of green fondant to make it look like real skin towards the back of the forehead part. I messed up back there. I wanted to cover up my mistake. So I added a little bit of green fondant and made it look like a scar. I'm adding a little bit of red food coloring to his scars that I made on his face to make it look like they're bleeding and it's blood on there. It's a Halloween cake. Make it look gruesome a little bit. And I'm adding on some black food coloring to make it look like stitches instead of adding fondant. I would normally add fondant for the stitches. If you want to go ahead and add fondant for the stitches, you can. I just feel as though the black food coloring gave it a different look, and I also enjoyed the look that it gave it. Add some luster dust in certain places to make it come to life. So now I'm just rolling out a piece of gray fondant just to add to the sides to look like screws are coming out of his neck. To, you know, Frankenstein has them little screws coming out his neck. I just flattened down this one side and then just pushed it in and then flattened down the other side the same exact way and pushed it in to make it give the illusion like it's going through the neck, but it's not. Well, there he is, guys, all finished. Frankenstein face cake. Please like and subscribe to know when I post up new videos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, you would love these. Hit the like and subscribe button to see more.